Welcome back to the Coin Lover and Treasure Hunter. Today we're talking about some of the most valuable Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coins ever made in the United States. Most people think pennies are only worth 1 cent, but some of these small copper coins are worth thousands of dollars. That's right, certain rare dates, mint errors, and special varieties of the Lincoln Memorial penny have sold for big money at auctions. And the best part? Some of these coins could still be found in circulation today. So grab your pennies, check your coin jars, and stay tuned, because you might be holding a small fortune without even knowing it. Let's get started. First up, 1986 Lincoln Memorial cent in uncirculated condition. It is important to understand that uncirculated means the coin has never entered circulation and shows no wear on high points such as Lincoln's cheek jawline and coat, and the steps and columns of the memorial and grading services such as Professional Coin Grading Service and Numismatic Guarantee Company use the mint state scale from MS60 to MS70 to describe preservation quality, and most uncirculated 1986 cents fall between MS60 and MS65 and typically trade for a small premium over face value, often between a few cents and a few dollars depending on eye appeal, luster, and strike quality, while higher grade examples such as MS66 or MS67 can command stronger premiums, particularly if they display full red original copper color known in the hobby as RD designation, because copper coins tone over time and bright red examples are more desirable and therefore more valuable. The metal composition of the 1986 Lincoln cent is another key factor, because beginning in mid-1982 the mint transitioned from a primarily copper alloy to a copper-plated zinc core, and by 1986 all regular circulation cents were composed of 97.5% zinc with a thin outer layer of copper, and this makes the coin lighter than pre-1982 copper cents weighing about 2.5 grams, and this composition also affects long-term preservation since zinc core cents are more susceptible to corrosion if the copper plating is damaged, so collectors seeking high-grade uncirculated examples should inspect the surfaces carefully for bubbles, spots, plating blisters, or environmental damage, which can significantly reduce value even if the coin technically never circulated. If we talk about market value in realistic terms, a typical 1986 no-mint marked Lincoln Memorial cent in average uncirculated red condition might sell for between 50 cents and $2 depending on the marketplace and buyer demand, while rolls of uncirculated coins may trade for modest premiums above face value, primarily to collectors assembling date and mint sets, and registry participants who want top population graded coins may pay significantly more for coins certified at MS67 RD or higher, especially if population reports show limited numbers at that grade, but it is crucial to understand that such high-grade examples are uncommon relative to the enormous mintage and require exceptional strike and preservation, often found in original bank-wrapped rolls carefully stored since 1986. Era coins and varieties can increase the value dramatically, and collectors should look for double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or die cracks. And although major 1986 Philadelphia double die cents are not as famous as the 1955 or 1972 double dies, minor doubling and machine doubling can still appear, and true double die varieties must show separation in design elements created during hubbing rather than flat shelf-like doubling from mechanical issues, and authenticated dramatic errors can be worth from tens to hundreds of dollars depending on severity and eye appeal, making careful examination under magnification worthwhile for anyone hoping to discover hidden value. For those interested in selling or subscribing to coin collecting as a hobby, it is important to research reputable dealers, auction platforms, and grading services, and coins can be sold through local coin shops, online auction sites, or major auction houses, but certification from recognized services such as Professional Coin Grading Service or Numismatic Guarantee Company often increases buyer confidence, especially for higher grade pieces, and subscription to coin price guides, population reports, and hobby publications can help collectors stay informed about trends, demand, and auction results, which fluctuate based on overall interest in Lincoln cents copper prices and broader numismatic market cycles. From a historical perspective, the Lincoln Memorial cent series represents one of the longest-running coin designs in American history, and the reverse, featuring the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., symbolized national unity and respect for President Abraham Lincoln, and in 1986, the United States economy was experiencing growth during the presidency of Ronald Reagan, and billions of cents were required for daily commerce, which explains the extremely high production numbers and relative commonness of surviving examples today, especially compared with earlier key dates in the series. When building a long script about the 1986 Lincoln Memorial Cent without mint mark, one could begin with an engaging introduction explaining common misconceptions about missing mint marks, then transition into historical background about Abraham Lincoln and the coin design, followed by a breakdown of minting locations, composition changes, grading standards, and real market values, then add a section demonstrating how to examine a coin under magnification, what to look for in uncirculated condition, how to store copper-plated zinc cents safely in archival holders, and finally conclude with advice about realistic expectations, emphasizing that while the coin is historically interesting and collectible, it is not rare in ordinary condition, and most examples are worth only modest premiums unless certified in exceptionally high grade or exhibiting a significant mint error. In conclusion, the 1986 Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coin without mint mark in uncirculated condition is a common Philadelphia issue produced by the United States Mint, composed of copper-plated zinc and widely available in high grade due to its enormous mintage and careful storage by collectors, and while ordinary uncirculated examples typically hold small premiums over face value truly superb red gems, graded at the highest levels, or dramatic mint error specimens can reach significantly higher prices in the numismatic marketplace, and understanding grading, rarity, demand, and proper authentication is essential before assuming extraordinary value, and anyone considering subscription to coin collecting resources or professional grading services should weigh costs against potential returns to make informed decisions within the hobby. Next up, the 1987 D cent is primarily copper-plated zinc because beginning in 1982 the United States Mint changed the metallic content of the cent due to rising copper prices. The coin contains 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper coating, giving it a total weight of approximately 2.5 grams and a diameter of 19 millimeters. The edge is plain and the coin has a smooth surface when preserved in uncirculated condition. An uncirculated coin means that it has never entered general commerce and shows no wear from handling. In circulation, it may display mint luster, which is a reflective cartwheel effect seen when tilting the coin under light. When discussing value, it is important to understand grading standards used by collectors and professionals. Grading companies evaluate coins on a numerical scale from 1 to 70, with higher numbers indicating better preservation. An uncirculated 1987 D Lincoln cent might grade between mint state 60 and mint state 67 depending on its strike quality, luster, and surface marks. Most examples found in rolls or mint sets fall in the lower mint state range due to contact marks from other coins during packaging. In terms of market value, the 1987 D Lincoln Memorial Cent is generally common because hundreds of millions were produced at the Denver Mint. The mintage exceeded billions, which makes the coin readily available even in uncirculated condition. Many examples are worth only a small premium over face value, often ranging from 10 cents to a few dollars depending on grade. Exceptionally high grade examples, certified at mint state 67 or higher by respected grading services, can sell for higher prices, sometimes reaching several dozen dollars if demand is strong. Collectors who seek high-grade examples often search original bankrolls, mint sealed bags, or official United States Mint sets from 1987. These sources increase the chance of finding coins with strong luster, minimal abrasions, and sharp details. The key elements to examine include the cheek and jaw of Abraham Lincoln, the fields around the portrait, and the steps and columns of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Coins with fewer nicks and brighter surfaces command better prices. Another factor affecting value is color designation. Copper-plated cents are often described as red-brown or brown-red. Coins retain most of their original mint color and are generally more desirable. Brown coins have darkened due to oxidation over time. A fully red mint state coin from 1987 D will usually bring a higher premium than a brown example in the same numerical grade. Proper storage in a dry environment away from humidity helps preserve the original color. Errors and varieties can add interest and value. While the standard 1987 D cent is common, collectors sometimes search for off-center strikes, double dies, or other mint errors. These pieces can command significantly higher prices depending on rarity and visual appeal. However, such errors are not typical and require careful examination. Magnification and knowledge of known varieties are helpful when evaluating potential error coins. Historical context also adds meaning to the coin. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, making it the first regular issue United States coin to depict a real historical figure. The Lincoln Memorial reverse was added in 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, and it remained for nearly 5 decades. The 1987 D issue represents a later chapter in this long-running design before the reverse changed in 2009. For investors, it is important to note that common-date Lincoln Memorial cents are not typically strong investment vehicles unless held in superb certified grades. Their value is mainly driven by collector demand rather than precious metal content. Since the copper layer is very thin, nonetheless, they are affordable entry points for beginners who wish to learn about grading, storage, and coin history. Building complete date and mint mark sets can be an enjoyable and educational hobby. If you are preparing a 50-minute script about the 1987 Lincoln Memorial Cent, you could structure it into sections covering history of the Lincoln Cent, the role of the United States Mint, composition changes in 1982, grading basics, market value, color designations, mint errors, storage tips, and collecting strategies. You can expand each section with detailed explanations, visual descriptions, and comparisons to other years. Encourage viewers to examine their own coins and explain how to identify the D mint mark. Discuss how to store coins in protective holders and remind them that condition is the key factor influencing value. End the presentation by summarizing that the 1987 Lincoln Memorial Cent in uncirculated condition is common but can still be a meaningful collectible piece of American numismatic history. Next up, the Lincoln Cent series, which first appeared in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, and this was the first regular issue United States coin to feature a real historical person rather than a symbolic figure, and the design by Victor David Brenner remained on the obverse for decades, while the reverse design showing the Lincoln Memorial was introduced in 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, and this design continued until 2008. Making the 1988 cent part of a long-running and widely collected series that millions of Americans handled in everyday commerce. Yet, within this ordinary circulation history, there are extraordinary examples in pristine uncirculated condition that stand apart from worn pocket change. The 1988 Lincoln Cent was struck in large numbers at the Denver Mint facility located in Colorado, and the D Mint mark beneath the date indicates its origin, and during the late 1980s the composition of the cent had already shifted from primarily copper to a copper-plated zinc core, which began in 1982 due to rising copper prices, and this means that the 1988 cent consists of approximately 97.5% zinc with a thin outer layer of copper, giving it the traditional appearance while reducing production costs. And when we examine an uncirculated specimen, we see bright original mint luster, sharp details in Lincoln hair and beard, and crisp columns and steps visible within the Lincoln Memorial structure on the reverse, which are often key focal points for grading specialists. Grading plays a crucial role in determining the value of a 1988 Lincoln Cent, and uncirculated coins are typically described using the mint state scale ranging from MS60 up to MS70, with higher numbers indicating fewer marks, stronger luster, and superior eye appeal, and a coin graded MS63 may show minor contact marks from mint handling, while an MS65 example, often called gem uncirculated, will display strong brilliance, minimal blemishes, and attractive overall appearance, and the rare MS67 or higher examples are exceptionally well preserved with nearly flawless surfaces, and these higher-grade coins can command significant premiums over face value, especially when certified by respected third-party grading services that authenticate and encapsulate the coin for protection and market confidence. When we discuss value, it is important to note that most 1988 Lincoln cents in circulated condition remain worth only 1 cent because of the very high mintage numbers, which exceeded several billion pieces. However, uncirculated rolls and individual coins saved directly from bank-wrapped rolls can carry modest premiums depending on condition and demand, and typically a common uncirculated 1988 cent in MS63 to MS65 condition might sell for a small amount, such as a few dollars, while superb gem examples in MS66 or MS67 can reach higher values, particularly if population reports show limited numbers at those lofty grades, and collectors who specialize in registry sets often compete for top-graded coins, which can push auction prices upward. A fascinating aspect of the 1988 Lincoln Cent involves subtle varieties and transitional details, because in some cases collectors have identified reverse design differences involving the initials of the designer, and such discoveries create additional interest within the hobby. Although the standard 1988 business strike without major variety remains common, the possibility of errors such as off-center strikes, double dies, or re-punched mint marks always adds excitement and careful examination. Under magnification is encouraged for anyone searching through original rolls or mint sets, because even a modern cent can sometimes reveal an unexpected treasure that dramatically increases its collectible value. Now let us turn to the concept of subscription-based coin market insights, which many modern collectors rely upon to stay informed about pricing trends, auction results, and grading population data. Various numismatic publications and online platforms offer subscription services that provide monthly price guides, detailed census reports, and expert analysis of market movements, and by subscribing to these resources, a collector can monitor how the value of coins like the 1988 Lincoln cent changes over time, especially in higher mint state grades where scarcity relative to demand plays a greater role, and such subscriptions often include access to auction archives, educational articles, and community forums that enhance knowledge and confidence in buying and selling decisions. From an investment perspective, the 1988 Lincoln cent is generally considered a common modern issue rather than a rare key date, yet high-grade examples can still serve as affordable entry points for new collectors who wish to build a complete Lincoln Memorial set in top condition, and assembling a full date and mint mark run from 1959 through 2008 in gem uncirculated grade can be both challenging and rewarding, and the relatively low cost of many dates, including 1988, allows collectors to focus on quality, eye appeal, and consistent grading, which are essential principles in numismatic investing, and over long periods, even modest appreciation combined with the enjoyment of collecting can create meaningful personal value. The historical symbolism of the Lincoln Memorial reverse should also not be overlooked, because the depiction of the memorial connects each small copper-plated coin to the larger narrative of American history and the ideals of unity, freedom, and perseverance associated with Abraham Lincoln leadership during the Civil War. And holding an uncirculated 1988 cent with its glowing red surfaces and sharply defined architectural details can inspire appreciation for the artistry and engineering behind everyday coinage and remind us that even the smallest denomination carries cultural and historical significance far beyond its 1 cent face value. As we conclude this extended exploration, it becomes clear that the 1988 Lincoln Memorial 1 cent coin in uncirculated condition represents a blend of history, design, economics, and collector passion. While it may never reach the legendary status of rare early copper cents, it still offers opportunities for learning, grading, practice set building, and modest financial growth, and by understanding mintage, context, composition, grading standards, market dynamics, and the benefits of educational subscriptions, collectors can approach this coin with informed enthusiasm, and perhaps the next time you encounter a bright red 1988 cent, you will see not just a penny, but a preserved piece of American numismatic heritage, waiting to be appreciated, studied, and proudly placed into a carefully curated collection. Next up, the 1989 Lincoln Memorial 1 cent coin without a mint mark in uncirculated condition is a very common United States coin, and it is part of the long-running Lincoln cent series that began in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln, and in 1989 the obverse of the coin still featured the right-facing portrait of Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, while the reverse displayed the Lincoln Memorial building, which was designed by Frank Gasparo, and the building itself represents the famous monument located in Washington, D.C., known as the Lincoln Memorial. And when a 1989 cent does not have a mint mark, it means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, because during that year Philadelphia cents did not carry the P mint mark, and the total mintage for 1989 Philadelphia cents was extremely high, reaching into the billions, which means that even in uncirculated condition this coin is generally considered common and widely available to collectors and investors and beginners in coin collecting. When discussing value, the most important factor is condition, because uncirculated coins are graded on the Sheldon scale from MS-60 to MS-70, and a typical 1989 no-mint mark Lincoln cent in MS-60 to MS-63 condition is usually worth only about $1 to $5 depending on eye appeal, luster, and demand, while coins graded MS-65 may sell for $5 to $15. And coins graded MS-67 or higher can sometimes reach higher prices, especially if certified by major grading services, but such high grades are relatively scarce compared to the total mintage, and most examples found in circulation, even if they appear shiny, are technically considered circulated unless they show no wear under magnification. Another important detail is composition, because the 1989 Lincoln cent is made primarily of zinc with a thin copper plating, and since 1982 the United States Mint transitioned from mostly copper composition to copper-plated zinc due to rising copper prices, so the 1989 cent weighs about 2.5 grams rather than the older 3.11 gram copper cents, and this difference matters for collectors who search for errors, transitional planchets, or off-metal strikes, but for a normal 1989 no mint mark coin the standard copper-plated zinc composition applies, and there are no major rare varieties widely recognized for that year in Philadelphia issues. If you are wondering about rare errors, there have been occasional double die errors off center strikes and die cracks reported for 1989 cents, but these are not common, and they must be verified carefully because minor machine doubling is often mistaken for true double die varieties, and collectors typically consult reference guides or professional grading companies before assigning premium value, and without a verified major error, the coin remains a common date memorial cent that trades close to face value in circulated grades and at modest premiums in uncirculated condition. From a market perspective, billions of 1989 cents were produced, which keeps supply very high and demand moderate because many collectors assemble complete Lincoln Memorial cent sets from 1959 through 2008, and the 1989 issue is included in nearly every set without difficulty, and rolls of uncirculated 1989 cents can still be found from bank-wrapped rolls, mint sets, or dealer inventory, and because of this abundance, the coin does not carry scarcity-driven premiums like earlier key dates such as the 1909 SVDB or 1914D, which are famous rarities within the Lincoln cent series. For those interested in grading and authentication, major third-party grading companies such as Professional Coin Grading Service and Numismatic Guarantee Company provide encapsulation services that assign a numeric mint state grade and protect the coin in a sealed holder, and submitting a common 1989 cent for grading is usually not cost-effective unless the coin appears to be an exceptionally high grade such as MS 67 or better, because grading fees can exceed the market value of a typical example. When evaluating your own coin at home, you should examine luster, which is the cartwheel shine that moves across the surface under light. You should inspect for contact marks, especially on Lincoln cheek and jaw area, and check the reverse steps of the memorial columns for sharpness and any sign of wear, and an uncirculated coin will show no flattening on the highest points and will retain full original mint frost. And if you are uncertain, comparing your coin to certified examples online can help you estimate approximate grade and value. In terms of investment potential, most 1989 no-mint mark cents are not considered strong investment pieces because their value growth is limited by massive mintage and collector availability. However, some collectors enjoy saving original bankrolls or mint-sealed bags as long-term novelty holdings, and while dramatic price increases are unlikely, incremental appreciation in top population grades can occur over many years, especially if fewer pristine examples survive relative to demand from registry set collectors. If you are planning to sell such a coin, you can check recent sold listings on major auction platforms or visit local coin shops and coin shows for offers, and you should be realistic about expectations because many dealers will pay only a small premium over face value for common uncirculated cents unless they are in superb condition, and online marketplaces may yield slightly higher prices if you find a buyer assembling a high-grade memorial set, but shipping and fees must also be considered when calculating profit-style script presentation. You could structure it as follows: first, introduce the history of the Lincoln cent and explain the significance of Abraham Lincoln, then describe the memorial reverse and its symbolism, then clarify what no mint mark means and why Philadelphia coins lacked the P mint mark in 1989, then discuss mintage numbers and composition change from copper to zinc, then move into grading standards and explain mint state levels, then talk about current market values with realistic price ranges, then explore possible errors and how to identify them, then give advice on buying, selling, and storing coins, and finally conclude with honest investment expectations and encouragement for new collectors. And if you wish to offer subscription details, you can invite viewers to subscribe for more coin collecting insights, market updates, grading tips, and historical deep dives into United States coinage series, including future episodes about rare Lincoln cents, key dates, and valuable error coins. Thanks for watching.